You know, if you ever feel like you just don't get enough attention and you want a way to get the bright lights pointed at you more, here's an idea. Get yourself elected mayor of New York City. Getting attention from Mayor Bill de Blasio, no problem. He gets lots of it. Some good, more bad. He's frequently criticized, including on this program, Dominic. Sometimes fairly, sometimes not. And now he's got company. His wife, Chirlane McCray, has found herself thrust front and center in the media storm, only some of which is actually the result of her own doing. McCray was in Puerto Rico this week talking mental health after the hurricane on a trip mostly paid for by city taxpayers. It's her fourth out-of-state trip this year on city business, which means the city pays for it, after 18 such trips during the final 2 years of de Blasio's first term. So their critics are again in full froth. Then again, de Blasio himself got the critics going recently when he complained that his wife should be paid considering all the work she does for the city. Even the Times editorial page wagged a finger at de Blasio for that one. And so did his wife. Asked about de Blasio's statement, McCray laughed and said, "I love my husband," but she added, "I should not be paid." But that may change in a few years. McCray is reportedly considering running for office herself. Once her husband's term is set to expire, she's reportedly looking at runs at maybe public advocate, Brooklyn Borough president, or even a state representative, seats where incumbents will be term limited as de Blasio's term as mayor expires in 2021. Jerica, you're a spokesperson for de Blasio. I don't really have much of a problem. The saying his wife should be paid was stupid, but you can walk that back a little bit. What's your take on all this and the grief that she's now getting for her trips out of town?
Well, definitely hats off to Chirlane. She is bringing a lot of, I think, important, needed energy to the administration. She's helped it increase its national profile when we're talking about mental health. She's really made New York a leader across the nation, really, in this issue.
And you don't have any problem with her jumping out of town, going to Puerto Rico, stuff like that? So
the money that you're spending on Chirlane to make these trips, anyone else in the administration, because they are priorities for the mayor, making sure that we're supporting people, U.S. citizens in Puerto Rico, our neighbors, making sure that we are doing outreach on mental health, which is when Chirlane traveled to Atlanta and participated in a lot of events and met with Rosalind Carter. That would have been done by whether it was the health commissioner or someone else in the administration. In fact, I think New Yorkers are actually benefiting because Chirlane is not getting a paycheck. She's doing the work that would be done irrespective of that.
Richard, let's you and I grab some popcorn, sit back. Dominic?
Well, so you're going to be my lawyer, and you will surely be my spokesperson because that was a great spin on the First Lady. First of all, it's not like anybody else traveling. She has what's called police officers or police detail protecting her. So if a commissioner goes, you're right, the city pays for the airfare and so on, but there's no police detail, there's no advance team. So it's a little different. Now, in fairness to the First Lady, and I've known her for 30 years, she's a great person, but I don't see the personality for her to run for public office. You normally, now maybe she'll grow into this.
Let's put that on the back burner. But just
okay, but that's a real issue when you're talking about running for public office.
But her activities as the First Lady of New York, she's clearly more in the Hillary Clinton model of First Ladies.
Right. And see, that's another point. So in fairness to the First Lady, I'm used to Joyce Dinkins, right? Joyce Dinkins, historically, she'd sit and read to children, you know.
I don't even know what her voice sounds
like. And so I'm used to a Donna Hanover. Rudy's wife, you know, Rudy, she would read to children and so on. Now it was starting to change because Donna was a newscaster for Channel 11 that, you know, that then became the First Lady. So historically we've had First Ladies that take a backseat role, if you will, and I don't know if that sounds sexist, but
it does.
Okay, it does. Well, they've taken a backseat role, and now we have a First Lady that's more progressive. But this sham of, I mean, they knew it was 2 for 1 when he ran for office. Who does Bill de Blasio think he is? I mean, this guy, I have never seen a mayor like him in my life.
Jerica, about 15 seconds. Do people criticize the de Blasios too easily?
I think so.
And how much of that is their own fault?
Oh, you know what? I think people got used to a Bloomberg administration, and you mentioned a lot.
Very organized.
Okay.
You mentioned. I'm sorry. I have to jump in here. You mentioned a lot of First Ladies prior before that, and you said just because you're not used to it. Well, you know what? It's been 4 years, Dominic. I need you to get used to it.
Ooh, right.
It is what's happening now.
No, I got to end it there. I'm out of time. Jerica, Dominic, Richard, thank you all very much. Have a great weekend. More right after this. Stay with us.